I'm Hazel Vassar. I've been a member of Campbell County wasn't born here. I'm not a native, but I came when I was in the first grade. So many, many years I've called this my home and have no intentions of ever being anything else. Love it. It's a great community. Well, I started out straight from school, planned to go to college, but was offered a job with the school district. So I started out at the school district where our city hall is. We had 1 through 8 was located there.
School.
Grade school. And then just followed the chain all up through reorganization of the county into one district and became head bookkeeper for the county. Stayed there until 76, moved to the courthouse to the treasurer's office. And from there kind of floated around as I was needed, went into IT and then to the assessor's office and was there until I retired in 2015. I've always been a decorator, always taken over whatever anybody needed. I was there to lend a hand, or literally I probably took over where lots of times I should have sat back and waited, but I love making the seasons good. That's what it's all about, is enjoying them as they come along.
Yep.
Enjoy your time while you've got it. There's no guarantees.
Yep.
So I've kind of turned Christmas into an emotional time. Not only was it for my family, because my husband and I were married on Christmas Day, so that made it really special. And from there, we've just developed all of these community things that we love to share. So we've done things at the courthouse. Then we've moved to the house when I retired and started having an open house for anybody that wanted to come. Give them lots of goodies because I'm known for my cooking. So give them lots of goodies and lots of things to look at. So just want to share. I was not a big home decorator so much as when I got started at the courthouse, then it just kind of all filtered into there. And then from there, I've always decorated my home since we moved here in 2013, I believe. But it's always been something I've liked to do, is decorate and share with people. It's a time that people have a tendency to want to stop and take a little break and kind of enjoy the season. And of course, I think we've come a little commercial, but there's still lots of people out there that still celebrate the season for what it truly is. And I figure by opening my home, everybody can have a little touch of that, even if they don't do it in their own home. It just gives them a place to go. And so I thought by bringing the season to them, maybe they'd take a little home with them. And I've had lots of people say, I'm ready to go home and decorate. So it's just kind of been an incentive to pass it on. So.
And then the Christmas village at the courthouse.
Ooh.
When did that kind of village collection begin?
Well, I've collected it as a small village, even at home. I'd have it on my fireplace, but I've been doing it at the courthouse for about 20 some years. There used to be that display center, used to be tumbleweeds and wheels and things like that. So one day somebody asked me, wouldn't you want to put something in there? And I said, well, I could. But so that's how it started. And it started just like half the size that it is now. But I could fill it 3 different times all at once and still have leftovers. So it's a big collection, but there's thousands. If you counted all the little individual people, there'd probably be way over 1,000 pieces for each change. I can put a number on trees, but I can't on ornaments because, as you see, I overdo. People will say, I think there's something on every branch, and there probably is. Maybe a couple of things even on some of those branches. But I just like it. This year there's 20.
20 trees?
There's 20 trees this year. Sometimes there's been 21, 22, depending. If I do the Symphony Parade of Homes, then I always add a symphony tree at the beginning of the tour. And then, so it's just the way the year goes. There's 3 rooms that I don't change the theme in, but I change the decorating, the way they're decorated. And I probably have at least 45 or so themes that I can change throughout the house. And no room except the 3 are the same, except maybe every 2 to 3 years. And then I may reuse the theme again. Mm-hmm. But it'll be in a different room and totally different setup. Mm-hmm. My master bedroom is always a reindeer theme. The family room is always a Western theme. And the other one that's always the same is the kitchen. It's a small tree on the refrigerator. It's always sunflower, but sometimes it's iridescent, sometimes it's plain. Well, it's never plain. I can't take credit of ever being plain, but just change the sunflower effect because my kitchen is all sunflower.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 that are always constant but different. The Santa room in the basement is always Santa. Mm-hmm. With the adjoining bathroom is always Zodiac to go with the Santa theme. Okay. So yes, and that never changes because there's so much I wouldn't know where to put it. I mean, I couldn't put it in another room. It would not fit because it takes the whole basement. Okay. Thousands from the community. But on a good year, I can have anywhere from 300 to 400 people come through.
What does it really mean to you to do this and to share this with people?
Everything. Just being able to give back to the community. I mean, people have a tendency to want to be a part of something that's worthwhile.
Yeah.
It isn't a come and see this and donate. It's come and see and enjoy. You know, just take in the sights. You're not expected. Mm-hmm. You don't have to give, you can receive. And that's all that it is worth. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not worth how much it costs or what it's going to bring when you get rid of it. It's all that joy that people get out of when they get to see it.
Yeah, I agree.
I just thoroughly, that is the whole point of everything I do. I love bringing joy to other people. Mm-hmm. They're always there to help me when I go to serve my big dinners or to-dos. I have a son and a daughter-in-law. I have 2 grandchildren that have partners. My husband passed away 2.5 years ago. My daughter passed away several years ago. So we're a small family, but we certainly are a family. Mm-hmm. Did. The one year that I had finished up the village, and like I said, when my husband and I were doing it, and he wasn't capable to do as much because he's had heart problems for years, I had come in early that morning to check the settings, the lightings, and there was this, I would have guessed her to be probably mid-30s, but very hard life, you could tell. I would say probably an oil field worker. And she was walking around the village, and I said, "Do you like it?" And she looked up at me and she says, "Honey, if I don't get another speck of Christmas this year, I've had mine." Done. That's what it's all about. You know, just to get one person a little bit of spark to maybe think they're worth something. Oh, you can't imagine the feeling that gives you. Well, I'm sure you can, but it's worth any minute, hour, day you put into it makes it all worthwhile. To know you brought that spark to somebody means a lot.
Absolutely. It's special.
It is.
Special.
Gonna miss when I don't have that. I'm gonna miss that.
Yeah.
And now I don't even see that because I'm
Yeah.
not at the courthouse. And so I don't get to see anybody's faces, but
Yeah. But it's happening.
All of the
Yeah.
offices tell me every time I go in, oh, you should have seen this little kid, or Mom had a terrible time pulling him out so they could go home. He wanted to stay. And, it brings me such joy.
Good.
But everything has its season.
That's right.
It does.
Tell us about the Santas, the kid with the Santas.
Oh, I didn't even know the little man. But because, like I say, I give invitations, I go by word of mouth. Somebody says to a friend, you should go see it. They've been here before. And this young lady and her young son were wandering around, and I had met them upstairs, didn't catch names, but knew. And his mother had taken him downstairs for the Santa Land, and they came back up, and he came up to me and tugged on my shirt, and he said, "Are you the lady that has this?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I counted 469 Santas on that tree." And I said, "Sounds about right. Could be a few more than that." His eyes were so big, and he was so thrilled that he just was beaming. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to see the reaction of different people.
Yeah.
And very rarely would you go through the house and find anybody off in a corner by themselves. People have a tendency to bring them into the conversation or make sure they have a glass of coffee or a cider, or they just want to take care of each other when they're in a group like that. It brings out the best of everybody. But again, this is from the courthouse. I had pulled it. I pull it a week end before I get ready to set up a new display. And there were two attorneys up from Torrington. And they had been into the commissioner's office, and they made the comment about what had happened to the village. And they said, "Oh, it's not gone. It's just being changed out." So they took time to come to the assessor's office and find me. And he said how much that they had enjoyed their trips to Gillette. And we talked about all the different things. And he told me that he was a collector of Christmas ornaments. And, I wished him well and invited him to the upcoming yearly open house at home. And he said, "Well, I'm sure I won't make it. We don't make it except during the week when we're working." And I said, "Well, you're always welcome." And I took the time to sit down and send them an invitation when it came time. But this was like 2 months out from the party. But when we got ready to do the decorating for the courthouse, putting that particular theme back or another theme in, we came home late on I guess it was Saturday night we came home late. And I always checked the mail when I got home. And here was this little package. And my husband brought it in and he said, "What did you order?" And I said, "I haven't ordered anything." So we opened it, and inside that package was a sterling silver Gorham angel with a note from the gentleman from Torrington. And he said, "This has been in my family since 1985, and I would like it to be on one of your special trees."
Wow. Nice.
And it is. Every
Yes,
year
every year.
it is on a tree.
Wonderful.
This year it's on the city tree in the hallway. and it hangs on a different tree every single year. And then it comes down and is rewrapped in its covering and put away. And
Mhm.
so that was special.
Very nice.